Hello and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this quick video, we will talk about placement of Mercury in the sign of Aries. And as always, we will look from practical perspective how this placement affects your physical as well as emotional well-being. But before that, we will look at one of the most common mistake which can cause the Mercury's interpretation to go wrong in any chart. So Mercury is a very important planet in Vedic astrology, and it is primary karaka or significator of many things. Like it represents your intellect, your ability to learn and understand things. It shows your speech and communication skills. It is the primary karaka of your skin diseases. The quality of your skin is primarily determined by Mercury. Also, it shows your interest in arts, especially the fine arts, and how versatile a personality you have is again something which comes under Mercury's domain. It is primary karaka of flirting, the ability to banter with each other and use words in a romantic way. We will see more about that aspect when we talk more in this video. It also represents your maternal uncles and maternal cousins and how your relationship with them will be, and in many ways what kind of life they lead or they have impact on your life. But the most important thing which is often missed in interpreting Mercury in any chart is that it is one of the most impressionable planet in your chart. In fact, you can say that it is the second most impressionable planet after Moon. And you know, Moon represents your emotions, and you can definitely see just by observing your day-to-day life that your emotions are most susceptible to external influences. And no wonder, therefore, Moon is considered to be the most impressionable planet in your chart. But the point which is often missed is that anything you have learned since you were born, be it the language which you speak, be it the manners and behavior which you acquire, your ability to learn, even like 1 plus 1 equal to 2, those basic things, all of them are result of your intellect. And that intellect, which is represented by Mercury, is the second most impressionable human faculty after emotions. And therefore, any association of different planets on the Mercury in your chart can significantly change the behavior of this placement of Mercury. And those impacts could be something as simple as association, any planet sitting with Mercury, or any planet aspecting Mercury, or even Kartari, meaning any planet which is one house before or after this Mercury can greatly impact the behavior here. And this is the reason why Mercury, the effects of Mercury shows up in various shades. So with this caveat in mind, let's explore what Mercury and Aries sign can give you. So let's first talk about the physical aspect of it. Mercury is the second most impressionable planet, but it is by far the youngest planet which is considered in Vedic astrology. And Mercury is actually considered a boy or a prince which has not yet attained manhood. And therefore, if Mercury is anyways associated with your ascendant, either it is placed in the first house or it aspects ascendant lord, it gives a young looking personality. Somebody who looks younger than his age. And even as they grow old, a strong Mercury can always give a younger looking physique. Now, the key point here is the look and feel will be younger, okay? The most important thing here is look, how a person looks. Mercury itself is not very much associated with great vitality, okay? It is not associated with great physical stamina, because it is a young boy, but it definitely gives you a young look. How the vitality of the body will be, how strong the body will be, how strongly it will be able to fight through diseases, how good the immune system will be, that would depend on the strength of your ascendant or the first house. But aspect of Mercury will definitely give you a young looking body. Now, Aries is a sign which is ruled by the planet Mars, the fiery planet Mars, and Aries itself is a fiery and active sign. It is like the jungle fire, the fire which is spreading fast. So there is a predominant of fire energy in Aries. And if you have seen my other videos, the primary property of fire is to transform things completely. If you put wood in fire, what you get is ashes and smoke. You completely lose wood. So fire is actually completely transformative force. It is the force of action. And Aries kind of epitomizes that energy. And so does Mars. They are executive planet. They like to do things in this world. Whereas Mercury, on the other hand, is the planet of intellect and speech. Mercury likes to talk, not necessarily get down into the battlefield and get your hands dirty. It doesn't like to do work. It likes to talk about theories. It likes to talk about fun and game. It loves to banter and flirt. It doesn't like to go out there and do physical manual labor. And therefore Mercury in Aries is said to be in a enemy sign. So when your intellect works in this transformative environment, what it does, it gives you a very piercing mind, a very piercing intellect, a very clever mind also. A mind which is always thinking about new things. Okay, the key word here is thinking about new things. Whether you will do those things physically depends upon other factors of your horoscope. But at least the intellect will be quite piercing, quite busy in thinking many things. And another aspect of Aries as well as Mars is that they are very practical signs. Both of them represents practical life. And thus Mercury's placement here shows an intellect which is working in the practical world. They have the ability to find out, multiple ways of doing things, multiple ways of solving a physical problem. And because of the warrior-like tendency of Aries, it also gives a very firm mindset, or sometimes it could even be obstinate, somebody who could be of very rigid ideas and can give a nature which gives different arguments to prove their point. And their use of speech also seems to be quite persuasive. Because of this fiery nature of Aries, they tend to represent their thoughts, feelings, and their case in a very persuasive manner. And this is the reason why this placement is also associated with quarrels. People fighting or arguing with words, not with hands, is generally ascribed to this placement of Mercury in Aries sign. But one key thing which happens with this Mercury in Aries sign, especially because Mercury is in an enemy sign, is that sometimes they behave very firmly in their thoughts and emotions sometimes, or the stand they take, they remain very firm, and sometimes they could be very fickle-minded. They change their stance without any apparent reason. This fickle-mindedness along with the firm nature can sometimes be very bewildering. But this is one of the traits of Mercury in Aries. Now in terms of business, one thing which happens is that Mercury here in this such an active sign gives a very speculative tendency. People who have some kind of impulsive mind and they can get involved in speculative business easily. So things like share market and business, obviously nimble-mindedness is important, but invariably it gives losses due to rash decision making. So unless there is say aspect of Jupiter on this Mercury, or Mercury is well placed along with say Sun, you need to be kind of careful about speculative and rash and quick decisions, especially when it comes to things like say share market, where things can quickly transform. See, we saw the transformative nature of Aries. So anything where things can suddenly change, decisions in those regards have to be carefully taken unless there is some stabilizing aspect on Mercury. Because as we saw in the beginning that it is a very impressionable planet. If there is any stabilizing effects, especially Mercury or a benefic Saturn, then their quick decision making can give them great rewards. Otherwise that can lead invariably to some losses. So friends, this was my very quick analysis of Mercury in the active sign of Aries. We will see more specific details about how it affects your maternal uncles and your relationship with them when we talk about Mercury in Aries for each of the 12 ascendants, because then we can talk about lordship of houses and also give much more definitive interpretation of this placement. So thank you for being with me so far, and I hope to see you again soon in next video.